Hello everyone, it's me Varus, and in this video I'm going to give you a full update on the Atlantic, as there's been lots of talk about activity starting up again or not. So yeah, let's get right into it. Lots of stuff going around, and let's clear things up a bit. So, haven't uploaded in a couple days, but we are back. So I'll upload today, tomorrow, um, Friday, Saturday, and so forth, if without any interruptions, most likely. But again, stay tuned to my Twitter account or X, and stay tuned to the community tab as I'll post all the updates. So yeah, let's get right into it. But this weekend, I'll likely have some winter fall type videos, so be excited for that one. But yeah, let's get right back into topics. We do have to talk about it, as there's actually a lot of areas over here in the Atlantic. Now, we're not going to go over the Pacific today because there's not a lot of activity showing up right now in the models, but the Atlantic is a different story. Okay, and so we have one little area way up here, kind of around Bermuda-ish. Disturbance 1, 10% in the next 48 hours, 20% in the next 7 days. Now, here, let's do a 7-day graphical outlook so we know where all these are going. So this one's kind of just going to drift north and east. Now, we could see some rough seas over here in Nova Scotia, maybe Newfoundland and Labrador down the road, etc. But overall, it's not really going to develop, okay? It's so far north, cool waters, unfavorable conditions, and if it does develop, it'd be extratropical anyways. It wouldn't be a true tropical system. So, over here, you guys are good, okay? Nothing to worry about. Now, let's go down to this one kind of over here in the Caribbean. This has a 0% in the next 48 hours, 30% in the next 7 days. This one is probably the most favorable environment right now. So it's going to continue moving, eventually cross over the Yucatan and get into the Bay of Campeche, a very favorable area, and we've seen storms here develop and impact land. Like, I forgot the B name storm, comment below if you know it, but it kind of developed here and retrograded back into the Texas-Mexico border and caused some weak tropical storm impact. So we'll watch this one. Disturbance 3, 10% in the next 48 hours, 10% in the next 7 days. We're generally moving west-northwest. This also doesn't look to do anything too much, but we'll have to watch it down the road. If anything, just again, some very, very light, choppy seas over here. But even then, you should be fine. And then lastly, the one way out in the MDR, 10% in the next 48 hours, 20% in the next 7 days. This could really develop per the modeling, but it kind of just has it going something like this. So slow development is likely, but further development down the road also looks very possible. So let's go on with a deterministic run. So we'll start out with the GFS, just doing the GFS for today. And as you can see, our little system over here kind of actually starts getting its act together, the one right near Bermuda. And it does kind of get into a little depression maybe before affecting Nova Scotia. And then modeling has been consistent on a front dropping through this weekend and bringing a homegrown system, so a low pressure off that front. Now this could impact the southeast, and actually some show it retrograding into northeast as some type of tropical storm. This model doesn't have it, but it is pretty interesting that we'll have to watch. Something interesting that we'll have to watch. Now, continuing this, everything else is kind of hard to see. Now, you do have that one big wave out here that's showing up. That Bay of Campeche wave, it's kind of there. It's kind of just lingering, but it doesn't show much development over there. Now, we see another little homegrown system over here, and this is something that could happen. I mean, you see it just start deepening out of nowhere. Thankfully, it goes out. And then we see this other storm that comes off. This is a wave that hasn't even been declared by the NHC. That comes off and travels like this. And that's something down the road we'll have to watch. As you can see, it gets likely to a major hurricane affecting the U.S. Virgin Islands, possibly Puerto Rico, and possibly curving out and threatening Bermuda, maybe the East Coast. We'll have to see, but that's getting much farther out. Now let's get into the ensembles, starting out with the Euro. Let's start out with going around 84 hours out. And as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of support with this one system over here. This one marked right here to head northeast does show a weak tropical storm, but likely wouldn't be a firm tropical storm, maybe a little extra tropical. but we'll have to watch that as there is the most important there. So let's watch that one. There's your homegrown system right there. Bay of Campeche wave right there, and our other wave over here. So we do have most of our waves showing up over here. Now getting into 180 hours out, this really starts to extend through. So this does show kind of a Nova Scotia landfall with this one off the coast of Bermuda, kind of. And then our Bay of Campeche one actually has quite a bit of support, but overall just kind of lingers in here. So that's something we'll have to watch. Now, this system actually kind of comes and then just fizzles out. Okay, you see loss of model support right over here. However, you do see a wave behind it, and that's very notable right here. And that's that same one that kind of treks like that that we just saw on the GFS, I'm pretty sure. So that's the one we'll have to watch out for. And let's go 240 hours out, and there you have it. Some homegrown stuff over here, Bay of Campeche stuff over here, and our main wave, especially this one that we're watching right now, in the longer term, but still something to watch as it treks east or west northwest, and eventually looks to make a curve northwest and eventually north. Now let's get into our typhoons. So, I did want this kind of a special part of the video. This is Typhoon Yagi. Okay, you could say Major Typhoon Yagi. It's a very strong one. Equivalent to I think a Cat 3 major hurricane. We'll take a look at that strength in a bit. But just taking a look at on IR, very very healthy. I mean, this is some very very healthy convection firing off on those um side eye walls. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. And very very heavy convection off the south outer bands. Only lack of convection kind of being on the northern side. But even still, I mean, this is an impressive storm right now. And so that's something to keep in mind as it continues to barrel right towards, I think, China. And it's a very big storm, very powerful, very strong. So please, please be careful. We just had Typhoon Shanshan, and we're right back with Typhoon Yagi. So here's a track. Right now, looks like 120 knots. I'm pretty sure that's around a strong Cat 3, Cat 4. Strengthens all the way up to 130 knots, right? Kind of over here, it maintains. Okay, and starts to get close to Haiku, Hanoi, areas of China, and a little area of a little island over there. 130 knots, Cat 4. Solid Cat 4. It does thankfully weaken significantly as it makes landfall as likely maybe a weak Cat 3 or Category 2 hurricane or typhoon-ish. Typhoon that would make landfall on the mainland of China. But Haiku, like this little area, this little piece of land, Hong Kong could have impacts, given this wind field. I mean, at least tropical storm impacts. And so it's going to strengthen and thankfully will weaken though as it makes a landfall on the mainland. But for Haiku, you would definitely want to watch out as hurricane like winds are definitely likely and if not guaranteed. So take a look at your track, take a look at it once more, let anyone know if there's anyone you know in the path. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. Nice and short. Tropical update on the Atlantic and a little special one at the end of the video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.